Hello! You guys are all so far away. I know, I see you waving back there. I'm so excited to be here today, and I can't just stand here, so I'll be moving around. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to talk about 4 top technology tips. I've probably got 100, and it was so hard for me to narrow down like 30 minutes. That's it. But I'm going to cover 4 tips. And the whole conference today is about what is your X factor? What are you going to do today, a small change, to make a big impact on your business? One thing, you guys. I know it's been a long day, but take one thing and go back and do it. Because how many times do you come to conferences like this, and you're all excited, and you've heard all these cool things, and then what? You go back to your regular business. Promise me you do one thing, okay? So I'm going to talk about typing tricks. Can you believe that? I actually have typing tricks. And I'm going to be talking about a way to get a free social media banner. Anyone ever heard me talk about email and cloud storage? It is a passion of mine because it drives me crazy that you could be way more productive than you are. And I'm going to give you tips on how to do that. I'm also going to talk about my favorite app. Oh, I love it. So at the end, you guys will all be downloading this app. I also will give away, I love to share stuff, so I've got tons of tips and resources on my webpage. I've got YouTube videos, and if you want this slide presentation, feel free. You'll get a link from the real estate board. Click it. I'll share my slides, okay? So the first thing about typing is that just for the next little bit, I'm going to be only talking about PC, Windows, and iOS, iPhone, Apple. Because most people, that's what they're using. But guess what for people who have other devices? I'm going to tell you where to get the same information on what I'm going to show you, okay? So you're not lost. I have this fictitious realtor. Her name is Jessie. And this is, you know, when she's working and she wants to type an address of her brokerage, can you imagine if she typed 3 letters and it popped up the address of her brokerage? Can you imagine if she's typing along on any smartphone, any computer, and she types an acronym, EJ, it populates her email address? Can you imagine if you're sending a text message and you want a signature? Jessie from Jessie Realty, it populates those words. Words, sentences, paragraphs. Can you imagine how much time you'll save? Think about all day long when you're typing out all these words, sentences, paragraphs that you type all the time. I'm going to show you how that's possible. Can you play the video? This is a text message or an iMessage, and you type that acronym, and it pops up whatever you want. Words, sentences, paragraphs. How awesome is that? Because how many times do you get a text message from a realtor who you don't know? And maybe they don't know you, they just have the phone number to call. And you put your information after the text message. It's all possible. What if on a computer, can you play the video? We were having a little technical difficulties. I was supposed to be able to do this myself. The tech person has tech difficulties, doing videos right now. So what if on a computer, on Outlook, you typed MLS and it populated the right way to spell it, or Realtor, it populated the right way to spell it, or in a Word document, any Microsoft product, when you type an acronym, it populates what you want. ADR, an address, JS is for Joe Smith's email address, MLS, properly spelled with the trademark, Realtor, properly spelled with the trademark. Because you guys all do it wrong, right? Thankfully, they don't fine for that. So I do have a blog on my website, darcitalks.com, just talking, for anyone who has Blackberries or Androids or Mac computers, how to do this. But how to do it on a Apple product, iOS device, so iPhone or iPad, you go to Settings, General, Keyboard, Text Replacement, And then you hit the little plus button. Now, these are just some of mine that I have in there, and I use these all day long. I'm not kidding you, all day long. Here's a tip. Are you ever on a website and you have to put in your email address as your ID and then your password, and you have to type in your full email address? I don't. Because all I type, DT, it populates my email address. That's because I use this text replacement, or it's called word substitution on BlackBerry, used to be, auto-correction. There's different words for the same thing. This is a huge time saver, you guys. So this is what it would look like. So whatever the shortcut is, you put the phrase in. And don't forget, it can be words, sentences, or paragraphs. On Office, you can pull up Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and just go File, Options, Proofing, Autocorrect, and there you are. That means on any Microsoft product, when you type the word realtor, it will replace it with what you put in there, the proper spelling of realtor with the trademark. And I know you guys are going to ask me, I had to take it out because I've only got 30 minutes, how the heck do I get the R in there? I've got it on a blog for you. So go to my website on darcitalks.com, Just Talking, and look for trademarks. It's one of the top blogs on how to do it on devices and how to do it on computers. Saving you guys time. I also I train a lot of realtors, and there's a lot of questions sometimes about banners on social media. And when we're talking about social media, if you've looked at it, and it's Twitter and YouTube and Pinterest and LinkedIn, everything has a banner that's a specific specification. And how do you know, your job's real estate, how do you know what size it should be and what it should look like? So has anyone ever heard of Fiverr? I know there's, yeah, how awesome is Fiverr? So Fiverr is a website, and it started out everything was $5, and then of course not everything is $5 anymore, but you can do almost anything on Fiverr. Logos and banners and voiceovers and bios and SEO and WordPress help and ebook covers and many, 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 many other things. And some of the gigs are $5, they call them gigs on Fiverr. And some of them are more expensive, obviously. But on my website, I've given you a free link, or a free $5 link to go try Fiverr. It will probably change your life because you can offload a lot of stuff that you don't want to do and you're not good at, and go try Fiverr. That is on the resource section on my website. And I have a ton of real estate resources on there for realtors, so check that out. Okay, are you ready for my favorite topic? Email and cloud storage. I could probably talk to you about an hour about this so you really understand it, because I think it's such a missed opportunity for so many realtors. But I'm going to talk for like 10 minutes about this. So imagine again if you had a contract and it's sitting on your computer and you're in Hawaii with no computer but your smartphone. You've just got your smartphone, and you gain access to that file, that contract, from your computer sitting in Vancouver, and you're able to send it to your client. Would that change the way you do business? I think people don't understand when we talk about cloud storage and email, how it will change your life when you have it set up properly and you're using it properly. You don't have to fax anymore. As a matter of fact, as anyone who's faxed in the last year, you probably don't want to put up your hand. You don't have to fax anymore. Okay? You really don't. The technology is there that you do not have to fax, unless it's to the federal government. I think they only accept faxes. So when we're talking about email contacts and calendar that's up in the cloud, imagine if you updated your contact on your device and it went everywhere else. So if you went home and you opened up Outlook, that contact is updated. You don't have to update it again. And you don't have to update it on your CRM, because you all have a CRM, right? Yes? You're all using a CRM, right? Yes, you should be. What if you had an appointment that you set up on your Outlook, and you left, and you went and looked at your device, and there was the appointment, also on the device? How awesome is that? Any device, anywhere, anytime, everything is accessible. I can go to Zimbabwe as long as they have internet access. I log on to somebody else's computer. I have access to my email, my contacts, my calendar, and everything on my hard drive. It's here. It's exciting. Okay, that is email cloud storage. I want you to imagine that if you're not set up like this already and you're entering contacts multiple times in multiple places, your appointments aren't working properly, you have triplicates in contacts, you're using Dropbox or Google Drive, but you've only put your photos on there because you're not really sure what to do about it. You must make the change and catch up with technology because it will make you so productive. Heather was talking about this earlier, about Google. I love Google. I think Google does run the world. And Google came up with a business platform about 5 years ago, Google Apps for Work. And I can't tell you, when I discovered this, I'm a total geek at heart. I literally went, oh my, no, it does not do that. Yes, I was so excited. So I have researched this to death, and they are awesome. And what Google Apps for Work does for you is exactly the scenario I described. And you want to know how much they charge you? $5 a month. If you can't afford that, you probably shouldn't be in your business. $5 a month. And they have 24/7 support. It's unbelievable. I want to reiterate again how this works. So you have an email address, you have contacts and calendar. Everything should sync everywhere. If I delete an email off on one thing, it should delete off the other. If I update a contact, it should update the contact everywhere. I should not be trying to figure out, oh, I updated over here. What was that guy's address or phone number? Everything should sync. I just wanted to, and I just talked to My Real Page in the back just to confirm this. If anyone is a My Real Page user for your website, they have awesome websites. But their support for email services is no longer. And so you might want to consider moving over to Google Apps for Work anyhow, okay? The thing that I do also is I train a lot of realtors and I work with a lot of brokerages, and I see this over and over and over and over again, and it drives me crazy. This kind of email address. Tell us, that is a Gmail personal account, okay? That is not a business account. That is not a business account. And Shaw. So I can guarantee the people who have TELUS and Shaw emails have problems when they travel. Yes, things won't work. You can't send and receive emails sometimes when you travel because you've got the Shaw or TELUS email addresses. And I almost guarantee you that your contacts and your calendars are mucked up because they're not true email addresses. Come on, you guys probably own a domain, so wouldn't it be better to be joe@joesmith.com or amy@amysmith.com or m@mjesse.com? Plus, it looks more professional. And here's a marketing tip. It makes no difference when people type this out, but it looks visually better. Put a cap on your first name and your last name, or any word in a domain. Doesn't that look way better? And it makes no difference, again, when people are typing that into the to field or on a URL. The other tip, too, is that if you have an info at, a support at, a sales at type of email address, it's not necessarily good for business because you're probably inundated with spam because the spammers know. They know that that domain, let's try these top 10 kind of generic email addresses, and they start spamming you. So you might want to think about that. And also, some services that you sign up for won't accept an info at email ID. Now let's talk again about cloud storage, because I see this over and over and over again. I asked people if they have Dropbox or OneDrive, or of course my favorite, Google Drive. And they say yes. And I said, oh, okay, let's see your setup. And I see that they've downloaded Dropbox or downloaded Google Drive, and that's all they've done. They're not actually using it. Much like CRMs. Usually you're paying for it but not using it. So unfortunately, my live demo isn't going to work because we don't have internet access that I can use. So I'm just going to have to explain kind of how it works. I was going to show you how on my iPhone, so just visualize for me, this is a picture of my actual computer. And I think you'll understand yours will look the same. It's got folders, program files, and things like that, right? When you use Dropbox or Google Drive, all it says is, let me take a folder, and I'm going to call it Google Drive or Dropbox, Google Drive, and then everything that you put under that folder, I'm just going to put up here in this cloud. This cloud is actually a server somewhere. But then you say, okay, once that's done, I'm going to say to my BlackBerry, my Android, my Windows, my anything else, my other laptop, someone else can have a folder. I'm going to say that's okay for them to have access to that folder under Google Drive. So what I was going to show you is I was actually going to open up my iPhone, and what you would see is the exact same folder structure that you see here, exactly the same. And I can grab any file that's sitting on my hard drive at home, anywhere in the world. If I updated it on my iPhone, a Word doc, within a minute, it's updated wherever I've given it access. Can you understand the power of that? It's incredible. Incredible for $5 a month. Does that make sense? Okay. Everyone's going to have to go look up Google Apps. And if you want, I always joke about this because Google's given me, as I brag about them so much, they've given me some coupons for 20% off. $5. If you really want one, I'm super happy to give it to you. You save $1 a month. It's really good. Okay, so my other favorite app that I'm going to talk about today, and it's funny, I can't do the demo, and it was going to be so awesome, because my husband's Terry Osti, who's a realtor here, and I was showing him doing this program, and I had this first. I was going to show WordSway, I was going to tell you, the app, and then I was going to talk Google Apps, but he was sitting there playing with it the whole time I was on my other thing. I said, okay, I'm moving it to the end, because you guys are going to download it as soon as I start talking about it, because it's awesome. We're going to talk a little bit about social media, right? It is about you want to make it engaging for people. Heather mentioned that as well. You want to make it engaging. So what am I going to do? How am I going to take a picture? What am I going to do? This app is amazing because I was going to show you in less than a minute, I could have taken a picture. I could have put words on it. I could have changed the font. I could have uploaded it to Facebook in like that. Terry, do you have my phone? I've lost my phone in this urgency of trying to figure this out. Okay. So think about what you can do with an app like that. You can use this is one of their backgrounds, and I just put text on it. And then in a second, you could load it up to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Or how about using it instead of the same thing? When we're talking about social media is about building relationships. It isn't about posting your listings, right? So why not, instead of like, what does everybody else do when it's someone's birthday? You put in Facebook now prompts you saying, hey, it's Joe's birthday, better say happy birthday. So everyone does the happy birthday, and Joe's got 1,000 friends saying happy birthday. Wouldn't it be different if you took 30 seconds, grabbed a photo? You can search their database of photos that you can use for happy birthday. You can put your own message on there. And I bet you Joe will comment on yours more than the other people that are just saying happy birthday, Joe. So what's the app? I can't show you live, so I'm just going to show you here, WordSwag. And for the people it doesn't work on your specific device, I've also put alternate apps that work for BlackBerry and Android and Windows on my resource page on my website. So I know you guys are all going to the App Store now and downloading WordSwag, and you're going to love it. So feel free to take a picture of me and WordSwag it to your Facebook and tag me. So you've got something in your swag bag that tells you a little bit about how I can help if we're talking about stuff, but we've gone over typing tricks. And again, I will share everything I have, so if you want the slides, no problem. The social media banner. And is anyone going to go and look up Google Apps for Work? Please, please, especially if you've got the TELUS and Shaw accounts, okay? Like, I can't tell you, it's going to change your life. If anyone is, if you want to talk to any of my clients, or like, really will change your life, as well as document signing, and that's another story. So download Google Apps. The board's going to send out a link if you want more information about my slides or anything else. But I want you to make a small change. Please go back and do what? Either put a shortcut on your phone for something you commonly say all the time. Put your name on there. Put your name in your brokerage, so then when you text next time, you just use an acronym rather than la, la, la. How long does it take you? Add up that time. It takes you an enormous amount of time on you guys text all the time, right? Go and make that shortcut or acronym on your smartphone and on your Windows computer. And I thank you very much for your time today. I know I'm actually in between you guys and the prizes, so I got to get off the stage. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks.